Jason, how much was it a factor losing PJ there early in the game?
Yeah, well, not to say that it was a big thing. I thought the group played hard, but to lose him 5 minutes into the game with a left shoulder strain, um, that put us, down a guy who's playing well for us. But the group kept fighting, uh, competing to the end. It's just the margin is so small for us. We can't, when we're behind, we can't turn the ball over. We got to get shots. I thought Klay was really good for us tonight. We made some threes. We made 17 of them tonight. But our defense got us back into the game, and then playing fast, trying to get the ball in the paint to attack the rim. I thought B. Will did a great job. I thought the guys did a great job of executing the game plan.
You mentioned B. Will. How do you see him just kind of getting adjusted to the start role at the point guard?
Yeah, I think he's trying to keep everyone involved. He's trying to make plays for others. And we all know that his strength is scoring, and he did that for us tonight.
Jason, what did you think of the energy in the building?
It was good. The energy was good. I thought the group was, we got off to a good start. Again, when we tend to go cold a little bit, our defense has to carry the load, and tonight Phoenix was better. They made shots when we couldn't. They made the threes. Again, but we fought and we worked the game, and we made a game of it. We can't make turnovers. The thing in the fourth quarter right now is we're making a lot of, we're turning the ball over where we got to get shots.
Did you notice anything from Daniel Gafford? He seemed to be limping a little bit when he was exiting the floor.
I didn't see him limping, but I thought he's on his minute restriction, so I thought he did as well as he could playing on his minute restriction, but I did not see the limp.
How do you think Flagg played after going to the locker room and coming back?
Yeah, he got hurt, but I thought he came back and played at a high level, made plays defensively and offensively, and he's a tough kid. There's no quit in him, and I think you can see that his spirit, goes throughout the team, and so we need that. But we'll see how he feels tomorrow.
It's a shoulder injury?
I think so.
With Cooper, he's gotten a look at some pretty good defensive guys in the league, like Lou Dort, now Dylan Brooks. What have you thought game to game on his improvements of, seeing those kind of physical guys?
Yeah, I think he's done an incredible job being able to take the physicality. He's getting great looks. He's making plays for his teammates. And so I think as he goes around the second time, he'll have a book on all the top defensive players. But hopefully by the second time around, we're a little bit in the sense of healthy because those guys will be on other players.
Watching Cooper play through about 12 games, up close and personal, does he look more comfortable? Do you think the game is coming easier to him? Do you think his feel for the game in the NBA is continuing to grow?
I missed the first part. What was the first part?
Cooper play here for 12 games. Do you think that his feel for the game, his comfort, his understanding of the NBA, have you seen that continue to grow thus far?
Yeah, I think it has grown, but I think he comes in comfortable. He's played against the best in the world, and so I think his comfort level, he's getting used to his teammates as much as going against the best defenders, and so he's always seen the best defenders growing up. But I think he is getting comfortable, but he's also growing, and he's getting better each time he takes the floor.
And a question about Cooper, the young man. One thing that he does coming off the court, he always greets the young fans, signs autographs and all that. You talk a lot about him as a player, but could you expand on who he is in the locker room? Who is Cooper Flagg off the court as well?
Well, I think Cooper is a young man who enjoys spending time with the fans. I think you see that when he goes to different stores, different appearances. He's about the community. He's about his work on the floor, but he also understands who he is and what's his responsibility to the community. And so he does take the time out to sign the autographs for every kid or to spend time in talking to the fans. And that's, when you talk about the best in the world, that's what they understand their role, and he understands his role.
Rosa came into the game early, and then, of course, he was protected throughout the game. Just talk about how he's been an asset with Gafford having a minutes restriction.
Yeah, I think when you look at our bigs, Musa has been really good for us in the time that he's been on the floor with the minute restriction on Gaff, the energy. he brings to the team spreads quickly in the game, and then just his hustle, his effort. I compare him to Cooper. He competes at a high level and doesn't stop and tries to do all the things to win. And I thought he did that tonight, defensively and offensively, being able to come up with big plays, blocking shots, coming up with offensive rebounds, and giving us second opportunities.
Coach, you guys cut the deficit down late in that fourth quarter. What were some of the adjustments that you guys made to spark that comeback?
Oh, I think we started to see the ball go in the basket, and we got stops. We can get 2 or 3 stops in a row and be able to counter that on the offensive end by scoring. It gives us a chance, and I thought we did that in the fourth quarter. Just being competitive, coming up with turnovers, but also limiting them to one shot. And again, this team, Phoenix, shoots a lot of threes. They can stretch you, and I thought the guys did a great job of effort of taking them off the three and then being able to rebound the ball. And then for us to play in transition, we have to play fast, and I thought we did that in the fourth quarter.
Cooper, any injuries?
You said what?
Injuries?
Any injuries? Oh, man. No injuries. I'm a little banged up. It's a lot of games. It's a little different. Not as much time in between. So, I think body's adjusting. But, I'm getting with, strength coaches, medical staff, everybody, and it'll be all right.
What kind of happened in that first play in the first quarter against Grayson Allen that sent you to the locker room?
Yeah, I think I was trying to, swipe through to go up, and he had just kind of hit or grabbed or something happened, and my arm kind of just got a little yanked. So just a little stinger. It hurt for a little minute.
Was that a re-aggravation of the shoulder that you'd kind of been dealing with since that Thunder game?
I think so. I think that's part of it. I think, body's a little rundown. You got some nagging, stuff going on, but nothing we can't play through. So just got to keep pushing, keep going.
How did things kind of change for you guys when PJ went down?
I mean, PJ's an incredible player for us. He's been really, key this year for us and been really big, just making a ton of different plays and impacting the game at a high level. But, somebody goes down, you got to be able to have guys step up and, fill roles. And, we didn't get the win, but I thought, a lot of guys stepped up big moments. And I thought we had a really good fight down the stretch. And, we made it a game, and we were right there again. So just got to keep giving ourselves chances.
Cooper, how difficult is it to win games when you turn the ball over 21 times?
Yeah, that's definitely a problem. It's very difficult, to answer your question, it's very difficult to win games when you turn over the ball that many times. So I think that's something we have to clean up for sure.
You had a block on D-Book that left all of our jaws dropped. That was incredible. Just what was it like to go up against D-Book tonight?
Yeah, he's incredible. He plays with really unique pace. He plays at his own speed, gets to his spots. He doesn't let the defense dictate where he goes. He's dictating, the play at all times. And so, he's a tough guy to guard, and we had to throw a lot of different looks at him. And, he made a lot of really good plays tonight. So a lot of credit to him.
We've talked to you about the physicality. I mean, you saw Lou Dort in one of the first few games of your career. Tonight you see Dylan Brooks. What are you thinking about this kind of level of physicality? Jason Kidd, you said you're going to have a book of, the how-tos against the best defenders in the league here too.
Yeah. It's just learning. It's a lot of learning experiences, and, I'm just so blessed to be where I am and have these opportunities to, be put in these moments and, just have a coach that trusts me and throw me into the fire and just letting me, play and be who I am. So it's obviously there's some, growing pains and, like you said, way too many turnovers and, that sort of thing. So we got to get better at handling the ball and handling pressure. But, these moments and experiences are invaluable for sure.
Would you say the physicality has been the toughest adjustment for you to the NBA?
I don't know if that's the toughest thing. It's definitely one of the toughest things for sure. I think the physicality, the pace, the spacing, just getting used to all those different things has been challenging, but, it's nothing crazy.
What was your reaction to the news yesterday that Nico was fired?
I mean, for me, it's about, basketball. Obviously I didn't have an incredibly long relationship with Nico, but, from when I knew him, he seemed like a really great guy, and we had a really solid relationship. End of the day, I'm here to play basketball, and, whatever goes on, above me, it's above me. So, I can't, worry about it too much. Just kind of keep trying to show up and, be who I am and try and get better every single day.
With now Matt Riccardi and Michael Finley stepping in to be the assistant GMs, it's pretty crazy to think you've had 3 GMs over your first 12 games. You said a little bit that it's just about basketball, but has this been a challenge? Has it been a distraction just with the outside noise as you begin your career?
I mean, there's always noise. You know, there's been noise through college. I mean, there was noise when I was in high school. I mean, obviously, as you go from level to level, it gets more and more, and there's a lot, you know, might get more challenging to deal with. But, you know, there's always going to be noise. There's always social media now, just in today's day where we're growing up and going through. There's, you know, social media is a big part of that, and you just have to find ways to deal with it. You know, there's always going to be distractions. There's always going to be stuff going on, people saying, you know, hate, whatever. So, you know, it's just something we have to deal with. I mean, we're professionals, and we just got to continue to do our job and keep basketball at the forefront and continue to worry about that.
What do you think about the energy of the fans, specifically there in the fourth quarter when you guys were coming back, trimmed into 3, compared to what's it been throughout the year?
I think we have not given the fans a lot to love. So I think that is part of it. And I think we take a lot of responsibility on that and having lost the fans a little bit. And I think how we given them a lot more to cheer for and be up for in the fourth quarters and, you know, be into it and, you know, giving them more wins. I think we might look at it a little differently. So I think we can take a lot of responsibility for that. But, I mean, the fans have been there. I mean, they stepped up tonight. They were huge. They were loud. They were positive. So, you know, I just want to look forward and try and continue to give them things to be positive for. And just, you know, show up and, you know, be happy that they can, you know, support us. And, you know, I'm just glad they show up for us.
What was going through your mind on the dunk? You did all the hard work, got to the rim, and it just, I couldn't believe it popped out.
Yeah, you know, it's going to happen. Kind of like I said, it's a lot of games. Got to deal with it, you know, whether I didn't have my legs or whatever tonight. You know, got to just continue to make plays and, like you said, did all the work, got down there. You know, sometimes you miss shots. It's the same thing as that. It's unfortunate, but, you know, got to kind of look past it and kind of move on to the next play.
You shot.
Booker talked about your first interaction with him at Team USA a couple of years ago. Can you talk about that interaction between the two of you for the first time a couple of years?
Yeah, I think being at the select camp, the select team. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, he's an incredible player, and, you know, that whole experience for me was just such a learning experience of just being around, I mean, such high-level guys. I mean, all those guys will be Hall of Famers someday. So just to have that experience for me was huge, just to learn a lot from them. You know, I learned a lot from him, and, you know, I was able to see firsthand, you know, the way he plays and his pace and the way he manipulates the game. So I would just say that it was such a, you know, eye-opening and learning experience for me going into my freshman year of college, just being able to have that experience for sure.
What's one area you would like more coaching this year in your rookie season?
More.
One area where you'd like more coaching?
More coaching? I mean, I think Coach Kidd is coaching me great. You know, he's incredibly helpful. I mean, he knows the game, you know, better than I do at this point. You know, he has so many more experiences than me. So, you know, I have so much trust in Coach Kidd and his vision and what he sees for me. So, you know, however he sees fit to, you know, coach me and teach me, you know, this game, I'm going to, you know, give him 100% of my ability and my mindset, and I'll just let him coach me however he sees fit.
Great shot 3 for 7 from 3. Just what were some things you were seeing in the defense to get those shots up?
I mean, I think it's something I said in the last post game. It's you got to know your scouting report the other teams are going to have for you. You know, I haven't shot it great to start the year, so you know, teams are going to go under screens and, you know, give that up. So you have to just be willing and confident and just trust the work.
After the NBA on Prime game for you guys, Dirk kind of offered some advice to you. I'm curious to know, has he personally reached out to you? Do you guys have any working relationship?
Yeah, you know, I've met up with Dirk a couple times, and, you know, he's just voiced to me that if I ever need anything, you know, he'll be around, and he wants to kind of be in my corner and be there for me. So, I mean, he's a busy guy. Obviously, he has a lot of his own stuff going on, but, you know, I'd love to be able to meet up with him soon and continue to, you know, grow our relationship. Obviously, he's a legend here in Dallas, so that would be amazing for me. And yeah, I mean, he's just giving me advice, and, you know, he's just there. He's just going to be in my corner, so I'm, you know, excited to grow that relationship for sure.
Where Brandon Williams has been in the starting lineup alongside you for the past few games. What do you think has led to him being so solid, being so dominant as of late?
I'll say his energy. I think B will, he plays with incredible energy every night. Obviously, he's incredibly fast, so that helps him out. He uses his speed really well. But I think it's his attitude as well, and it's just him showing up every single day. There was games where he wasn't, playing much. He went through a little injury to start training camp and to start the year, and I think his attitude's just been incredible. For a guy that has really, gone through it at every level. From the two-way to the, getting a contract and that sort of thing. His attitude has just been incredible, and he just, exemplifies what it means to just be a hard worker and show up and do his job every single day. So, I have so much respect for B. Will, and he's been great for us so far, and he's going to continue to grow as well.
What's your impression on what you guys got from Musa?
You said what?
What's your impression on what you guys got from Musa?
Musa, man, he plays so hard. I love playing with Musa. He's just everywhere. He's a freak athlete. Sometimes he's not even thinking, but he's just making plays. He's not scared or anything. He's so fearless out there on the court, and so you have a guy like that, it's a freak athlete and just plays incredibly hard. It's a good combination for sure. And we're gonna get him up to speed with all the coverages and everything, but that's something you can't teach, is just how hard he plays, and on every possession just working as hard as he can, and that's gonna be huge for us.
You think of the energy in the building after obviously a weak start to the season from that perspective?
I thought the energy was great. I thought when we cut it to 4 points, I thought our fans did a tremendous job giving us a boost. And we have to give them something to cheer for on a nightly basis. So we're going to put our best foot forward. I just know we will. And I can feel them ready to rally behind us. They have been through a lot, so we want to give them a great product on the floor.
So how do you kind of adjust this new role that you have? Just
What's that? How do I digest?
How have you adjusted to this new role you have, and just what was your approach tonight coming off the bench?
I'm enjoying it. I mean, I get to see the game develop, so I can see where to pick my spots. And at the end of the day, I played 30 minutes in the NBA. Year 15, I'm just trying to be out there as much as I possibly can. I know I'm not saying the end is near, but it's such an honor, privilege to be out there, no matter if it's mid-November or early June. It's like my goal this year is to be the most consistent presence in the lineup.
Hey, how do you guys cut down the turnovers? You had 21 tonight.
Oh no, it's not good. It's not good at all. We got to be more sure with the ball. I think we have to trust the pass a little more. I think we really had success when that ball zips around the perimeter and then we attack the defense. While Kyrie and Anthony are out of the lineup, we have to play differently, play for each other more, and like I said, trust the pass even more, because it's hard to guard the offense when that ball's zipping around. It's easy to guard when you're just standing still watching someone try and create.
I know you don't like to make excuses, but how difficult it is to win with 3 starters out?
It's not easy. The NBA's not easy. I mean, I haven't had the best start to the season either, not shooting my typical averages, and that's not going to deter me from keep shooting and being my best and put my best effort forward. And it's not fun, I'm praying for a day while I'm in this Mavericks uniform that we can be whole. It's hard because we've been struck by the injury bugs the whole time I've been here, and I just can't wait for the day we're whole. That's going to be such a pleasant sight to see.
Klay, what was your reaction to the changes that were made yesterday?
It's a hard business, and Nico is a friend, and we were from the same city, and I just wish him well. He's done great things for Nike basketball, helped the Dallas Mavericks reach a conference finals and NBA championship. And it's the hardest part of the business, whether you're traded, you're waived, you let go. It's never fun. And I think that's in any business, really, not just basketball, but whether it's the corporate world or any industry, it's hard having to deal with adversity like that.